Welcome back to Allison Customs Project Car TV. I'm Jeff Allison, and thank you for
Hey
watching.
guys, welcome back to Allison Customs Project Car TV. So today has nothing to do with project cars. Well, I guess I shouldn't say that. It has everything to do with all the parts that go in a project car. This isn't one of them. But all of this other stuff back here is involved in getting project cars built. And so what we're standing in is my second shop. It's a 20 by 20 building. The whole building's actually 20 by 32, but the rest is other types of storage and stuff. And I use it as a wood shop. I use it to store parts. I use it to store materials, tools that I'm not using at the time. I mean, you can see all kinds of stuff back here. I've done a little bit of video out here at different times where I'm shearing metal or bending it or whatever, but it's very cluttered. It's very full. And you can't really work out here very much. So, I mean, I'm in the only work space there is out here right now. So my goal today is to fix that. And my plan is to build shelves all along the back wall, floor to ceiling, get a lot of this stuff that's not real heavy up off the floor and put it away. Some of you have seen my forklift videos, so you know I got a forklift. So I'm just making a place that I can use my forklift to put stuff away. And that's what the video is today. So it's about how to build some shelves. It's going to be time-lapse version and just me getting some work done. So I'm going to move the camera back out of the way and get started. Thanks for watching. You guys will, like I said, I'm going to film most of this in time-lapse, but I'm always getting the question, how long does a project take? And I really don't know. Sometimes it takes me 2, 3, 4 days to get enough video to actually put something together that I can put on YouTube. So today we're going to try and figure it out. It's almost noon. It's like 11:45 in the morning. I've already been to town, picked up the materials I need. So that was about 2 hours worth of effort or time, and we're going to back the camera off and just let it do a time lapse of everything I do for the day. So I'm guessing I can get all this done in about 4 or 5 hours because I got to clean this whole place out. We got to move some trailers out of the way, and then we got to build everything and then put everything back in here in an organized way. So that's my best guess, 4 or 5 hours. But we'll see. We'll see how long the time lapse takes, and I hope it's entertaining. Again, thanks for watching. Okay, well, we're down. We already ran into our first problem. Started moving the trailer out of the way, and my forklift ran out of fuel. It runs off propane, so I got to run into town real quick and get the propane bottle filled. So that'll take 30 or 45 minutes, and then I'll get back to filming. So see you in just a minute. Okay, well, I got the tank filled, trailer's moved out of the way. We're back in business. We're going here, and as we're doing some of this and pulling some of this stuff out, you're going to start seeing some parts to other projects that I'll probably break in and do some commentary on what's going on with some of these things. So get started. Thanks. Well, guys, it's 3:30, so it's taken. Take out the time to go get the propane for the forklift, and it took me about an hour and a half this morning, I guess, to go into town, pick up the steel and the plywood to make the shelves, and all the screws and everything, and then you can tell I'm filthy. And then if we skip the 45 minutes that it took to go get propane or thereabouts, get everything back on the forklift working. It's taken, let's see, I'm trying to do math here. Public math is not good. It's probably taken 3 hours and 15 minutes to clean the place out, plus the hour and a half, so that's 4 hours and 45 minutes, let's call it. So if you already had the material, and if your place isn't as filthy as mine or cluttered and packed, the shelves are going to come out 4 feet. And I think what I'm going to do is, rather than try and move or take this apart, I'm just going to put one leg out here instead of over, and part of it will just cantilever over. But we'll see how I get that figured out when I do it. Steel's on the trailer. I'm going to go unload, go get a couple sticks and my roll around welding cart workbench thing that has my chop saw, and I'm going to set the drill press up on there, and that way I can drill some holes to put everything into the wall and go ahead and get my rear bars or rear supports up. I measured a couple times, probably saw it on there when I had a pallet on the forklift, how high I could go without hitting one of the lights or something. And what it works out to is about 7 foot 6 inches, and will be a safe height for me to be able to slide a pallet on and not worry about smacking a light or tearing up something else in the roof. I'm going to come from right here where this double stud is, and I'm just going to go all the way to that wall. That's what I'm doing. Alright guys, well it's 8 o'clock p.m. and that's as far as I got. Not too bad. I'm going to put a couple of center legs on these 3 posts. I want all of that area open, so that's going to kind of be my big bulky items, but not terribly heavy. This 2 are going to be my heavier items, engine blocks, and even that side would hold engine blocks just fine, but try and keep all my heavy stuff over to this side. So tomorrow morning, the first thing I'm going to do is go ahead and get my 2 sheets of plywood down. I've got a notch around all these posts, and so I'm going to get my 2 sheets of plywood down, and then I'll go ahead and build my upper rails and put in my plywood on top. So that's it. I bought a total of 14 sticks of 1.5 inch by 1.5 inch, 11 gauge, which is almost 1/8 of an inch thick, square tubing. I bought a 20-foot stick of the 2-inch by 1/8 inch flat bar that I could make the little feet out of, just so I could spread the weight just a little bit. And I probably haven't used half of it yet, although I've got some more stuff, and I'm going to, on this big long center post, I'm going to tie it into the ceiling. So I've got a big strip I've got to put it there. Yeah, so it's 8 p.m. and basically, not including the trip to town to get the propane and not including the time to go get the material, I've got about 8 hours in it, because I did take about 15 or 20 minutes to go eat lunch earlier, so 9.5 hours maybe with the 2 trips. I've been cleaning this thing out. That took almost 3.5 hours or something. That was a bunch of it. Of course, all that material, all that has to come back in, and I'm going to clean out some of it. There's a bunch I'm just going to throw away, but for the most part, all that's got to come back in. But anyway, so that's time frame. That's what I've got going in it, and stay tuned. I'll finish up tomorrow. You guys, went back at it this morning. It's about it's just a little after 8 a.m. and kind of had to wait for the neighbors to be up and moving before I start making noise, cutting and everything. So anyway, like I said last night, I'm going to go ahead and I got to get a couple of intermediate legs down here on these 3, and then I'm going to go ahead and throw the plywood up there and get started. So get this thing set back up in time lapse and get you going. Well, guys, I wasn't even close. Shelving's finally done. And it is just after 1 o'clock on day 2. So I'm exhausted. I'm tired. It's just a lot of work for one person to try and do by themselves. Lifting all the steel and the plywood up high, and even with the use of the forklift, you can only use it for so much. Sometimes you just got to manhandle stuff. So anyway, it's now time to start loading all this stuff back up, and so if it's 1 o'clock, I got started a little after 8 this morning, I think it was, and so that's another 5 hours. So I did take about a 30-minute lunch, so 4.5. Stay tuned for the last little bit. This is when you'll probably get to see all the stuff that was special sneaking in, and then I'm going to cut and make a separate video of some of that stuff, so you'll see it in this, but I'm not going to point it out. Is what I've decided to do. I'm going to point it out in a separate video because it's most of it's for one particular vehicle. Okay, this is one of the pallets I was talking about. You're going to watch it go by. Okay guys, here's the second item now it's going on the shelf. That's it guys. That is my shop pallet shelving build that was, I said, take 5-6 hours, something like that. I think I thought of yesterday morning. 6 o'clock in the evening, day 2. I started about 8 o'clock this morning. I've taken one half-hour break, maybe not even that long. So it wasn't even close. It's like 9 hours or something yesterday, 10 hours today. Time you run and get everything, it's over 20 hours. Now everything's back in here. It did take me longer to put stuff back in than it took me to take it out, and it took me a long time to get it out. But I kind of sorted through it. I've thrown quite a bit of stuff away. In fact, I've got a dump trailer, so I'm gonna get my other 2 trailers put back in place, and then I'm gonna roll the dump trailer down here and pick up everything and throw it in there. So I'm not even done yet, but the build is done. It's loaded. The video is done. Have a great weekend.
Thanks for watching Allison Customs Project Car TV. Like us on Facebook and check us out at AllisonCustomsOnline.com.